If your team runs cloud workloads, AI services, developer pipelines, or internet-facing infrastructure, today's security question is simple. Which patch changes your blast radius first? This is Daily Tech Hack Global for July 13, 2026. The facts in this briefing come from NVD, CISA when reachable, and linked vendor advisories. I will keep the discussion defensive, no exploit commands, no payloads, and no step-by-step attack chains. The lead item is CVE-2026-61447. NVD describes it as, praise an AI before January 6, 78 contains a remote code execution vulnerability in codeagent_execute_python that executes LLM-generated Python code without AST validation, import restrictions, or sandbox enforcement. Attackers can influence LLM output through prompt injection to exfiltrate all environment secrets and execute arbitrary code on the host system. The recorded severity is critical with CVSS 10.0. Why it matters: agent tools often forward credentials or call internal APIs, so path scope, least privilege, and audit logs matter as much as model behavior. The second item is CVE-2026-61459. NVD summarizes it as, MCP server Kubernetes before 3.9.0 contains an argument injection vulnerability in structured tools, kuberctl_get, kuberctl_describe, kuberctl_delete, that allows attackers to bypass the assert no dangerous flag security check by supplying resource type and name parameters with leading dashes. Attackers can inject the server flag to redirect kuberctl commands to an attacker-controlled API server, causing the operator's bearer token to be transmitted externally. Severity is critical with CVSS 9.8. The operational takeaway is to map this advisory to exposed systems, service credentials, and any automation that can turn a small weakness into a larger incident. Item 3 is CVE-2026-15378. A flaw was found in the guardrails detectors component. This vulnerability allows a remote attacker to perform a blind server-side request forgery, SSRF, by submitting a specially crafted XML schema definition, XSD, string. This can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive information, including credentials from cloud metadata services, Kubernetes API, internal MinIO, and other internal network endpoints. Addition. Severity, critical, CVSS 9.3. Defensive context: runtimes and orchestration nodes sit underneath AI services, CI jobs, and production workloads, so identity and image trust can become blast radius multipliers. Item 4 is CVE 2026-56260. Crawl for AI before 0.8.7 contains an arbitrary file write vulnerability in the Docker API server /screenshot and /PDF endpoints. The output_path parameter accepts arbitrary file system paths without validation, allowing an attacker to supply absolute or path traversal values to write to any location writable by the application's user, overwriting server files and causing denial of service. Severity, critical, CVSS 9.1. Defensive context: prioritize by exposure, privilege, reachable credentials, and whether automation can amplify impact. Here is the defender checklist. First, identify whether any affected product is internet-facing, reachable from CI systems, or reachable by AI agents and automation. Second, patch according to the vendor advisory, not just the headline score. Third, review service accounts, API keys, pod identities, OAuth apps, and tool credentials that could be reused if the affected system was compromised. Fourth, add monitoring around unusual admin actions, image pulls, tool calls, authentication failures, and outbound network requests. Fifth, document what was patched and what was deferred so tomorrow's team can audit the risk instead of rediscovering it. The larger lesson is that AI security is not only prompt security. It is the security of runtimes, cloud services, tool connectors, identity boundaries, and the operational process that decides what gets patched first. Patch what is exposed, reduce what is privileged, rotate what may have leaked, and make automation prove what it is allowed to touch.